Wow, more nervous than I thought. Imagine leaving your culture behind, disconnected from your family, your language, your life as you knew it, and determining you have a say in your own destiny. When you are in a country that there's an abundance of freedom, it's easy to take it for granted. It's like a basic human right, and we think we are entitled to it, like the air we breathe. But what happens when your freedom is curtailed from the start by the place and society you're born into? What happens when one day you see that for the first time? What happens when you start to think what might be possible? What do you do? How do you do it? Our lives are the sum of our decisions, paths taken, roads not followed. Ultimately, personal freedom is about choices. But we make a mistake if we tell ourselves that those choices are the same for everyone. For some of us, freedom is something we must seek out. Women have known this for centuries. For many women around the world, there is no such thing as a level playing field, which is a global problem. Current estimates put women's labor force participation rate nearly 30% percentage points below men. No job, no money, no freedom. It's a depressing equation. This gap widens in patriarchal societies where restricting women's financial independence, the foundation for personal freedom, is routine. UNESCO's global education monitoring reports have consistently shown that patriarchal cultures are barriers to girls' and women's education. The figures are alarming. Worldwide, 132 million girls are out of school. Vietnam, the country and the culture into which I was born, is one of those countries. For centuries, its culture has been predominantly patriarchal. It's a society where men are central and women are continually cast in supporting roles. Vietnamese women work hard and manage households, raise children, care for the sick and the elderly, but rarely share the same decision-making power with the men. We are taught to be agreeable, obedient, and to sacrifice our own ambitions for what we are told is the overall well-being of the family and of society. And that's the society in which domestic violence remains significant. I've observed many forms of abuse. Like in 2015, in a summer afternoon, I felt useless as never before as an adult when I saw a woman being verbally abused by her husband, with her son walking and crying next to her. People were watching. I called for help to people riding scooters on the street. No one cared. Some reminded me, it's a family thing. That's the society many Vietnamese women are submissive to. My heart still sinks whenever I think of domestic violence within my society. It's really about like a norm or it is accepted. A national study conducted in 2019 on violence against women found that more than 6 in 10 Vietnamese women live with physical, sexual, emotional, economic, or behavioral abuse from husbands at least once in their lifetime. In every 3 marriages, nearly 2 wives have suffered from at least one type of domestic violence. It was within this society that I realized I was ensnared in 2 binding relationships. The first was with my husband, and the second was with the deeply embedded cultural norms I had been brought up with. The cost of leaving one was leaving the other, a difficult choice, a difficult decision by any standard. But what is the value of freedom? Many studies highlight the profound positive impacts of freedom on women who leave restrictive cultures and relationships behind. For women who have been suppressed, the quest for freedom is not just aspirational, but essential. They are healthier, happier, and have a higher self-esteem. You know what? When women do have autonomy over their lives, society flourishes. A UNESCO report emphasizes the ripple effects of women's independence and the ways in which societies benefit. Women bring new perspective to problems. They implement novel and holistic solutions. They foster innovation and creativity. Most of all, their autonomy changes the lives of their daughters. According to UNICEF, mothers with greater freedom and autonomy are more likely to invest in their children's education and well-being. These children grow up with expanded horizons and free from the restrictive beliefs that once held their mothers back. To me, the turning point was this realization. A teacher from my school, a woman, made a choice for herself, a choice I had never thought possible. She accepted a job offer from another country without seeking for approval or agreement from her boyfriend. It was a eureka moment to me. It made me question the limitation I had accepted. Was I a puppet of societal expectations, or did I have a say in my own destiny? I learned from other teachers from Western countries that getting a divorce was not wrong, that one community's social standards may be ridiculous from the perspective of another, and that I had the power to make my own decisions. It was my responsibility to make the decisions that were best for me. After that realization, the most difficult thing I had to face was how this would impact my family and my children. But I knew that if I didn't do something, it would not be long before my daughter found herself in the same impossible circumstance. I left for her as much as I did for myself. How to leave a culture, a world behind means facing uncertainty and the prospect of living the familiar. It means seeing the failure. It means seeing the possibility of failures as real. It means standing face to face with the fear of rejection. But it might also mean awakening of personal freedom. If you pay attention to the cultural roots that limit you and your future, pay attention to recognize new opportunities, and by widening your perspective, you will have the encourage to envision what a new life might look like. By facing your biggest pain, you will see things differently. sometimes it can mean leaving a culture and a husband behind, which is as difficult as it is necessary. Today, my endeavors, my successes, and even my failures are mine and mine alone. What legacy will you leave for your children? How will you make sure you have a say in your own destiny? Thank you.